Good afternoon, rather good evening, everyone. I hope the students have returned from school and are ready to learn for our next or for our webinar on investments. So I All right. So let's begin our webinar series. So just for everybody's information, before we start, this webinar is being recorded and streamed live on our YouTube channel. The students, in fact, from various schools nationally are joining us through our online YouTube live link. Now, just for the benefit of everybody, what exactly is DhanGyan? DhanGyan is, in fact, an online financial literacy course, and it was launched in 2015 by Tata Capital and the Center for Environmental Research and Education. So the reason why this course was launched was because it was important to create the basic understanding and skills to be financial literate amongst the masses. So this is aimed to empower youth, and through the course, you will understand the basics of finance, financial concepts, and money management. And you do all of this through the journey with a little girl named Tara, who takes you on this fabulous journey and gives you life examples. And there are knowledge checks in between as well. I'm sure all the students have already begun to access the online modules and are learning a great deal from that. Now, for the benefit of all the schools that are here, just to give you an overview about what exactly is DhanGyan for schools. Now, we are partnering again with Tata Capital and IDOBRO Solutions for this program, which is DhanGyan for schools. Now, this is aimed for students of standards 8 to 12 from our member schools. And again, the information remains the same. It is for knowledge on financial basics. But what we are doing through this program is, in addition to the online modules which you will take on DhanGyan, there are also some expert series webinars, such as this one. And after the culmination of these, you will go through a test, an online test. We will share the details later. I know there's a lot of eagerness amongst all the students of when exactly is the test and what is the link. It will be an online test. The link will be sent later on. Right now, I would request all the students to just focus on the webinars and absorb all that learning. This is a 3-phase program, and at the end of the online test is when the first phase will culminate. So just to go back to what I was saying in terms of the 3-phase program, we are now in phase 1. After that, whoever scores the top scoring students from each of the schools, they will be invited to complete a special project. It'll be first a written project, then it will be a video project, and finally we will select top 5 projects, which will include a teacher and a student. They'll be invited to our location here, USO House at New Delhi, and they will have to present their projects in person. Once again, all details will be shared later. So let's just go step by step. Now, just to give you an idea about our organization, I represent USO, which is United Schools Organization of India. It is a registered society and was established in 1951. It is our mandate to advance the social, cultural, and moral standards of schools in India to global levels. And we conduct several extracurricular activities such as tests, seminars, conferences, competitions, programs, campaigns, etc. And all of our activities are on a national platform because we want to help students to become the global citizens of tomorrow. This is one such program where we are trying to disseminate the information and the importance of financial literacy among school students. For this program, we are partnering with IDOBRO Impact Solutions. If you read this, there are so many big and long words, but in a nutshell, let me tell you, IDOBRO is a fabulous organization that deals with upliftment of communities, both in the rural and in the urban settings. They are present in nearly 24 states in India and 7 countries internationally. And they are a great advocate for outcomes because they value all the communities. They have done some absolutely fantastic work on those lines and have affected almost 1 million lives. Now, a very, very important and significant partner in this program is Tata Capital. Tata Capital is a subsidiary of Tata Sons Limited and is registered with the RBI. Now, what they do is that directly and through their subsidiaries, they have funds and fee-based financial services to their clients under the Tata Capital brand. Of course, we all trust the Tata name in itself. So as a trusted, and they are very customer-centric, they are the one-stop financial services provider, and they cater to the needs of retail, corporate, and institutional customers across all areas of businesses. Naturally, they have nearly 100 plus branches all over India. And so that brings us to the main topic on hand, which is the webinar number 3 on investments. A very, very important topic. Now, just a word of caution to the students. This is not a quick get-rich scheme or anything around those lines. This will just expose you to the basics of investments so that you are aware. And for this, we are very honored and happy to have with us Ms. Hina Ranjawala, who is the cluster head from Mumbai, from Tata Capital. She's going to be speaking to us on investments. Now, if I may just take a moment to introduce Hina to you. Hina has been working with several organizations and has been with the banking industry. She has over 25 years of experience in banking, financial services, and wealth management, and has worked with organizations such as the Standard Chartered Bank, Dubai, Kotak Mahindra Bank, and is currently at Tata Capital Limited. She has some very nice hobbies, and I must tell you about this. This is one of the most striking, if I may say so. Hina, please let me take a moment. She loves helping the elderly citizens with their finances and makes them tech savvy wherever necessary. So I think that's a very critical thing. And in our own way, we each try to do something to help the community. So really want to start off by not just welcoming you, but by commending you, because that is really something that these elderly citizens require. Things have changed drastically in terms of not just finances, but also technology. And for you to take the time from your schedule and your family to do that, really hats off, commendable, Hina. So, love to welcome you to our webinar and hand it over to you now to take us through this journey of learning on investments.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Nina, for that lovely introduction. A lot of background of what wonderful work is being done by the school and the overall organization, institution that you belong to. Thank you for giving this opportunity to Tata Capital and myself to address this wonderful crowd, okay, of youngsters, really young students from the 8th to the 12th grade. It's definitely a different set of audience I'm having today, and I'm very excited. At the onset, I would like to say I wish I was doing this in person. It would be wonderful to have all these children around. So maybe sometime later, because thanks to the pandemic, it has taught us how to get digital early than we expected. So yes, and one of the things what you mentioned about helping elderly is because yes, not everybody is tech savvy. Even simple things like a smartphone, we just use basics like the WhatsApp and the Google and the YouTube, okay? But when it comes to investing, our clients, Tata Capital's customers, do have to deal with a lot of online, requests, etc. So that is where my role comes in not only doing the investments that they need to do, but also hand holding them wherever necessary so that they don't feel unsafe or don't feel scared where their money is going because it is a digital investment scheme or so. So yeah, coming to the main part of our presentation, just give me a moment. I will share the presentation which I have made specially for the children, and here it is. So maybe somebody can just confirm if my slides are visible.
Yes, it's visible here.
Right. Thank you, Nina. Okay. Is it okay if I put off the video?
Yeah, sure.
Thank you. Okay. So here we go. The topic that is today going to be discussed by myself is on investments. I understand that the crowd here is very young school students and maybe just early college students. So the interactive question answer sessions, we will do it later. And if you do have any questions, they can be put into the chat box and then we will address them one by one. But to start with, when we say investments, what do we basically mean? We mean savings, right? Today we have heard from our grandparents, from our parents, neighbors, good uncles, aunties, who always talk about saving, saving for tomorrow, saving for uncertainty, saving for the future. Okay, it could be towards our education, it could be towards some passion that you are aspiring. You want to be a badminton champion or a music player, or you want to go abroad for higher studies. Whatever it is, today, your parents, your grandparents would have saved a lot, and that is why today we are having the kind of living we are having. Okay. Even in terms of toys, today, whether we want a 10 rupee toy, 1,000 rupee toy, or whatever would be the cost of our aspirational, gifts, whoever is gifting that to us definitely needs to save. They save, they gather that fund, and then they go out there and buy something that they can give to a child so that the child enjoys it fully. Okay, so be it our education, there's a lot of savings of our parents' hard earned money going into savings towards our education, towards our aspirations, goals. So I would like to start saying it is very basic. What I'm going to speak on investments is not too complicated. Okay, this is something you may be hearing day in and day out right in your house. Okay, that beta, save karo, save water, save electricity, save money. Okay, save your books. There are so many students right here in this crowd who carry forward their books, their clothes, their shoes, slippers, and whatnot to the next, I would say friend or somebody in need. All that comes as part of savings and investing. You invest in a good dress or a book or whatever. You can then pass it on to somebody who will use it for his or her own consumption. Okay, so please one moment. Nina, please bear with me. My slide has frozen, so I will just,
Sure, no worries.
pardon me, I'll just unshare it. Yes. So I hope I'm audible again. And what I was
Absolutely.
trying to, yeah, thank you. So the initial part that I mentioned about savings and taking care of your things not only for today but for years to come, it basically comes with a mind that I want to plan. Okay, I want to plan for a bad day or a rainy day as it calls, or I want to plan so that I want to pass it on. Okay, so investment planning, why do we need it? Okay, the basics is we need it so we have financial protection. Again, over here, you may have seen around, and why I keep on saying grandparents and parents, because they are the first, visible people in front of you right there in your house, where you see that they are protecting the money that they are earning through various means. Somebody could be doing a job, somebody could be, saving right there in the house. Okay. So there is financial protection, which is very crucial. Okay, I know of so many senior citizens. Senior citizens means those who are above the age of 60. Okay, these are the seniors who believe in financial security. If they have financial security, they feel comfortable. Any moment they feel, oh, I don't have money, they start feeling insecure and very vulnerable. So even your parents would be, giving that financial protection to their parents so that they feel confident and comfortable living along with their children. Okay, so the most basic important is financial protection. The other reason could be emergency. We also save for emergency. And what better example can I give of the pandemic? Recently, we had COVID 2019 hit us, okay? And beyond March 2020, there were loads of people who lost their jobs. They were not in having business. People didn't have money to pay their rent. They were homeless. They were jobless. And the problems are, countless. So when we save, you can see a little piggy bank over there. I'm sure many of you have a piggy bank today also, or you may have had it when you were younger. Please continue to have that piggy bank concept, and whatever money that you earn by way of kari kamai, if you would have heard that term, okay, whatever, if your family members gift you on your birthday, on occasions, on special days at home, okay, please save that money so that it can be utilized anytime in the future. Okay, then it is also done. Why do we plan investments? Because it helps us meet our short term and long term needs. Now, short term, long term needs again comes into the picture. Children's education, higher education, weddings, marriages. Okay. Investments also help people in saving tax. I'll come to this tax part later in the slides because that goes into the investment products, etc. I'll not take it up right now. Then financial planning is required so that we have a very good, secure and peaceful retirement. Okay. And it is also required so that we can pass on the assets and legacy to our loved ones and dear ones. Pertaining to this slide, if anybody has any question, you can please uh, ask. Sorry, the slide is again. Okay. Now, going to the next part of the presentation, why does this planning all be needed? Okay. It is needed because in different life stages, our needs and wants are different. So today you all are young, maybe you just want to save so that you can give to your friend a very nice gift that you all have been talking about, or you want to go out with them for a movie, but you want to use your own money. So you save whatever your grandparents have given you and you go out. Okay. Or it can be saved saying, no, I'm planning to go abroad for my higher studies. So whatever gifts I get, I can do that kind of savings. And then later on, when you get married, then there are different goals and requirements. So why financial planning is needed is because at different stages in our life, we have different needs. Now, now I'll come to something very basic. So what I covered in the previous 3 slides is saying why we need to invest and why we need to do financial planning. But just to cover the basics, because you all have learned in school various terms in mathematics, okay, and maybe some of you have economics also. We all understand that inflation, okay? Inflation, everybody would say that it's like a devil. Why inflation is a devil? Say, for example, like I put an example over here, your grandparents or parents gifted you, say, some money, 400 rupees last year, and you wanted to buy a football. Okay. But unfortunately, you postponed your decision and say, okay, no, I don't need it now, I'll buy it later. But this year, that football is costing 500 rupees. Okay, or a pair of shoes that you wanted to buy earlier is costing say 600 rupees, but now it has become expensive and 750 rupees. So this increase in price, okay, as a percentage makes you to spend more than what you earlier had in mind. That increase in the spend of money is called inflation. Okay, and the rate of inflations are generally very high for consumer durables. So whether it is our food inflation or the cost of inflation of our utility, things like clothes and other gadgets, etc. Like I said, yeah, food items, clothes, okay, their inflation is very high. So again, coming to the point, it is very important to save because every time you're going to need more money to spend than you imagined. So this pair of shoes, which was 400, becomes 600, becomes 800, and one day it will become, double the cost. So we need to save for that. Now, talking about the concept of interest, you all may have seen your parents drawing a check. They keep their money in the bank accounts. Okay, the banks, it is the business of the bank to keep your money safe, and whatever funds they have got, on the basis of that they lend and they give loans to people. Okay, it is their business to earn interest. So if a bank is paying, say the rate of interest varies from 4 to 6%, that 400 rupees, for example, if you did not buy those shoes and you would have opted to save that, okay, your mother, your father would have opened a bank account and said, okay, because nowadays you have minors bank account, many of you may have opened an account or many will be likely to open an account so that you can save. That money of yours, 400 rupees, which you didn't buy the shoes for, can earn 4 to 6% every year, and you can grow that money. Once that money grows, you can then decide out of the growth whether you want to buy still the same shoes or you want to let your money grow, and then you will buy whatever you want at a later date. So there are many options how you can invest and grow your money. So why I'm putting up this slide here, and I'm keep it simple. It is not complex, but it's very beautifully designed slide. The investments that we do for our customers, Tata Capital Wealth customers, there is a huge gamut of products, and how to decide what is good for Nina, what is good for Jolly, what is good for Rohan, what is good for Devansh. Okay, to give that example, we basically have a grid here. I hope my slide is very clearly visible. What do we conclude? That what is the capital appreciation you're expecting? Are you expecting a high capital appreciation, an average appreciation, or a low appreciation? What is the risk you want to take for your money? The 400 rupees, do you want to put it at high risk? Then the returns are also high. Okay, but if you're looking at average returns, then the options are many. And if you're looking at average to low returns, then the options are few. So this is how we at Tata Capital Wealth do this. But for you to keep it simple, since you all are so young, we would suggest that you keep the money in the bank and let it grow. And slowly and steadily, as you get a grip of other financial, avenues, you can then choose to. Nina, I'm really sorry. The slides are freezing, and that is why I'm having to unshare and share. I hope it is not a problem.
No, no, it's not a problem at all, Hina. It's
Yeah,
quite
thanks.
quick, so it's fine.
Okay, sure. So now again, what I had shared in this previous slide, this basically is an extension so that you all can understand that, okay, as I am young, I have long, many years to live and to plan. I have to plan the education. Your parents have to plan your marriage. And then you can help them plan their retirement. Okay. And if there is any repayment requirement of any loans, you can understand what is the need of an emergency fund in the house. You can plan. I'm sure we all go on vacations, small and big, with family, with friends, neighbors. Okay, you can always plan a vacation. When you plan a vacation, you will realize that what is the cost which goes into it. How are you going to meet those costs? Okay, when you're out on the travel. And end of the day, suppose you're 10 of you going on a picnic, even on a basic picnic, one person or two people out of the 10 can take the responsibility that, okay, I will collect the money from all the participants or all the picnic goers. I will keep a log of whatever we are expending on travel, on food, on medication, okay, on recreation. And when we return from the trip, I'll make a total and I'll see how I can save money. So whatever you save, you have to then distribute it back to the, to the friends who had gone on the picnic, and then you see how they will appreciate. No, this person or that girl, this boy has managed the money in a very efficient way. That will give you a good experience of planning and savings, I would put it. Okay, now I've come to a slide which is talking about start early. Okay, start early investing, and one must invest regularly. So, since the topic of our presentation is investing, I have used the word invest. In your terms, in simple terms, it could also mean savings. Every, it's like an SIP, a systematic investment plan is called an SIP. If you save 5 rupees or 500 rupees or 5,000 rupees on an annual basis, okay, and as you all are young, you can see the power of compounding. Okay, in maths, we learn how accumulation, compounding helps us in terms of growing the value. That's the same logic which is applicable here. If you start early, like you see here, Mr. AB is only age 25. So if you put yourself in these shoes, you could be just of the ages of 15 to 18. Okay, but there is somebody who is, double your age or at least three times your age. That person, if he starts to save, he will definitely make a lesser value in terms of his growth compared to what you are able to do. My God, very embarrassing. Okay, I'm really sorry about the slides freezing on the screen. I'm just not able to get off that problem. So please, my apologies and pardon me. Okay, after this start early, I think the next thing that we can do is understand the importance of diversification. Okay, if you must have read in any of your English books, it said, don't keep all your eggs in one basket. When it comes to savings, when it comes to investing, we don't keep our money all in one place. Okay, again, to give an example, a very simple example of our grandmothers or our, parents, they would keep money in the house in a little, bottle in a jar in the kitchen, a little money in a pouch in the cupboard, some money here and there, as well as in the bank. So, this is why we have to keep money in different places, because when we diversify, we reduce our risk. If you keep all the money, okay, in one place, then there is a risk of it either getting stolen, either it getting, put to use in the wrong places, and so on. I'll give an example over here. Here, this is a slide, if everybody can see. At Tata Capital Wealth, we have a very diverse product basket. And why we have a product basket is because there are different avenues of investing, and different avenues come with different risks, time horizon of investment, and their purposes. We must always fit our, goals and aims. For example, as you all are just so young, 15 to 18, 20 years of age, you know that your immediate goal would be higher education. For higher education and for your midterm educations, you need to save for a medium term period. So when you want to save for a medium term, these are the goals you can probably look at here. If you see here, long term goals, short term goals, and protection goals. So if we have short term goals, these are my products: the debt and arbitrage, the fixed deposits, or the postal saving certificates and debt funds. Okay. But if we have a slightly long term horizon of investing, then your parents would look at other avenues of investing where they can grow their money and they will get the corpus they need at the time of maturity when they need it for your meeting your goals. So again, I'm coming here. We do not keep all our money in one place, but we diversify, and that is the best way to mitigate risk. And when we do that, the reason why myself as a wealth advisor is here with Tata Capital since 15 years and the previous organizations is because once they trust you that, okay, I can trust this company, Tata Capital, and I can trust Hina with my funds, they believe in the advice we give them. They can understand the options we give them because that is always after taking into mind their risk and their need for the future money. That is how we propose different options for them and they go about investing their savings for a future growth. So I think that with that I can conclude my presentation, and if there are questions, we can handle them.
Sure, that was very insightful. And you've toned it to the level of the students, so that is fantastic. I think we'll open the comment box now for questions. So, students, this is an opportunity for you to clear your doubts, to ask questions relating to these. So, you can just type your questions just once, please, in the chat box, not multiple times, because then there's just too many questions to sift through. So we don't want it to be like yesterday. So just please type your question once and then we'll start. All right. So the first question that we are getting from Mohana, just once, please do not type it again. What is the risk in investing?
So yes, investing comes with risk. There are risks associated with different instruments. You may have heard of bank fixed deposit. Uh, they are perceived to be safe. But suppose we put our money into a bank which is not having a good audit, or their compliance is very poor. There could be a situation where that bank, you know, I would say use the term swallow your money. When you go back to them, they will say, sorry, we don't have your money, please go home. So there have been instances. So to give you an example, live example, there is a bank which is ABCD, and then there is a bank which is very reputed. When I say reputed, meaning their credit governance is very strong. It could mean the HDFC Bank or SBI Bank of the country, the Kotak Bank, and so on. So those banks which are governed, all banks are governed by RBI. Okay, but even under that, there are many banks whose governances are not clear, and they are not the ones who you should keep your money with, because that's where they are not safe. So a safe bank, suppose hypothetically, is giving you 4 to 6% returns, like I explained in the interest example. The ABC Bank will promise you 12% because they want your money and then they want to channelize that money further to some other customer. So then you should understand that if 4 to 6% is a safe zone, 10-12% if somebody is promising me exorbitant numbers, that is not safe. That is how I would answer this. Am I audible, Nina? Jolly?
Yes, yes. Sorry,
Okay.
So the next question is from Hardik Khandelwal, and he's asking if the cost is reducing, so what will it be called? I think this is in relation to when you were referring about inflation.
Yes. So inflation is a silent killer, as we call it, because every time the cost of goods are always going to go high, so the rupee is devaluing. Okay, rupee is devaluing it compared to the dollar. Rupee is always depreciating. Okay, there's nothing we can do about it. It is the job of our government and the finance minister to see that rupee doesn't, go down so much that the cost of goods become unaffordable for us. So they try to address the inflation problem in that manner.
Right. And then we have examples for the places where you can invest. Three Bros Plays, I think that's a YouTube name. So can you say examples for the places where you can invest?
Yes. I hope my screen is visible.
Yes, it is.
Okay. So to answer this query, at Tata Capital, we follow an investment approach, like I mentioned, after doing the risk analysis and understanding where your money is already allocated. Then we do the product selection activity, and then on a periodic basis, we review the customer, the investor's portfolio, so that he's not skewed too much towards a particular asset class, which again becomes risky. He's not safe if he's in one place. So in order to put money into different places, this is the step by step approach. So initially, if a customer wants to do safe investments, then in the safety net you have schemes of mutual funds, FDs, bonds, preference shares, term plans, endowment plans, annuities, and insurance schemes. If an investor is ready to, and a safe risk profile means I cannot allow my capital to be at risk. I want my capital to be safe. Suppose I'm investing 100 rupees, 100 must be safe. It cannot go 99, 98, 96 at all. I want to keep 100 as it is, and over and above that I want to earn either 4%, 6%, 8%, 12%. That depends on the risk we take. So if you stay with the safe options, your 100 rupees remains 100. Over and above that, you can earn up to 8%, I would say, safely. The minute you're ready to take slightly higher risk, then you can aim from 8 to 10%, 10% to 12%, 12 to 14. Okay. And if somebody tells you invest in a particular scheme and I'll give you 20% and 40%, then one must be alarmed to say that no, this is not for me, because definitely there's nothing on this earth which will give you 40% returns. So somebody is trying to siphon away your capital also.
The next very, I think, important question: what should be advised to students about investments?
Yeah, correct. So, like all of you here, like I said, you may have had a piggy bank in the childhood days. You might have thought that is very childish. But if not a piggy bank, then you can probably have a wallet at home, okay, or a safe, a box. Whenever you get money on various occasions, like I mentioned, don't use it away. It's very easy to go for parties and use the money, but the avenues when you save, okay, saving is important. Right, Nina? That is what the question was, that why do we save?
Yeah, okay. And there's another question from Hari Keshavan. What is the meaning of risk management?
Very good, very good. So risk management, to give in simple terms, suppose you're driving a car. One option is you stick to your lane, you check the rear view mirror, side mirror, etc., and you follow the driving discipline. You'll be safe. Okay, you're managing the risk of being on the road, because whether you're flying in the sky or in the ocean or you're on the road, your life is at risk any given point of time. But if you're following the discipline way of driving and managing the traffic yourself and your car, you'll be safe. Similarly, for investments, like I mentioned in the previous slide which I showed, if your investment or your savings goal is that I want to save, my 100 rupees should remain 100, then the products that are identified for your investing or for your saving will keep you safe. The minute you say that no, I want to keep my money safe, but you are investing into things which are risky, then risk is not being managed. So you have to decide between, you want to grow the money, then you'll have to take a little bit of a risk. If you're okay with slow risk, okay, you want to slowly grow your money. That is what I'm advising all the students at this stage. Please go into simple savings, like opening a recurring deposit in the bank, or whatever savings you have, please put it into a savings bank account, either of a minor, or give that money to your mother. And every time, that is an incentive which I also have a 15-year-old son. I tell him that every time you save in the month, whatever money I've given you, I'll check in the end of the month. If your savings are good, I will give you 10% extra. So if I give him 10 rupees every day and that 100 rupees needs to grow, I need to give him an incentive that I'll give him 10 rupees more. So that is the way you could save and grow and mitigate the risk of putting things into risky places.
There's another question from Aryan Chauhan. Oh, sorry, from Sachin SK. Can we invest at any age?
Of course. Of course you can. It's just like you can dance at any age, you can cook at any age. You must have seen Master Chef nowadays, even youngsters, such as the small kids of 8, 10-year-olds are cooking. So you can invest at any age. Below the age of 18, you all are minors. Okay, so you can also open an account. Banks will open minors account. Investments, may you can do a minors investment. Okay, if you have got savings, you can invest from your own account. In case you have not started saving but you want to invest, you can request your parents to open a minor under guardian account. So you will be the minor, and your parents, anybody, mother or father, can be the guardian, who will be the guardian, and the money can come from their account. And that is how you start your investment journey, your savings journey.
There's a question from Krishan Kalia. What is AIF/PE?
Okay. Yes. So AIF is Alternative Investment Fund. Like I mentioned in the product slide, different products come with different time horizon of investment and the risk associated with it. So when we interact with customers, investors, they'll say, okay, FD मेरे पास है, deposit scheme मेरे पास है, mutual fund मेरे पास है, और क्या है, what do you have others? So depending on their risk appetite and their investment horizon, the alternative investment fund is one. According to the SEBI regulations, it requires 1 crore of investment. 1 crore is 100 lakhs. So if there is a customer whose overall portfolio, meaning Hina Ganjawala, if my total portfolio is more than 5 crore, then I can put 1 crore in one scheme. It is having a tenure of 5 years or 10 years. So if I've got a customer whose entire portfolio is 5 crore and above, then it is permitted to put 1 crore in one scheme, which is called the Alternative Investment Fund. And PE is private equity. Private equity is, it's a long gestation period. They take 10 years to give your money back, but they give you returns between 4 to 5 years also. That requires 5 crore, 500 lakhs and above investment. So those are complex products. Why I'm saying complex? Because there are a lot of things one has to bear in mind: the minimum investment amount, the risk associated with it, the time horizon, and so on.
There's a question from a student saying, are sweep bank accounts scam or real? Are they good to store money because they give 7% interest rate?
Yes, very good question. Very good question, because I come across this many times. Just yesterday, I was in a client meeting and we explained him that suppose you've got 1 lakh rupees in your account, okay, and you just need for your monthly usage 20,000 rupees to run the expenses of the house. So there is an excess of 80,000 rupees. He can sign up with the bank to say that any money excess of 50,000, please move it to the sweep in FD account. So again, coming to the example, he has 1 lakh rupees in the account. He utilizes only 20,000 rupees. There is 80,000 which is excess. He gives it in writing to the bank that anything more than 50, you please move it into an FD. So out of the 80, 50 will get picked up and there will be a 1 year, 1 day FD which will get booked at 7%. One thing to bear in mind over here, which the bank doesn't tell the customer, that In case you break that prematurely, we will charge you. There is an exit fee. There is a charge which is applicable. So customer poor thing feels, okay, 50,000 is going into a 7% FD. Otherwise, that 1 lakh rupees was going to earn only 4% or 5%. And very jolly, happily, he goes and puts the FD. Suppose he is drawing a check, okay, he draws a check of say 60,000 towards payment to somebody. What will happen in that situation? Because he had 80,000 in the account, 50 is already gone in the FD. So now he has got only 30,000 towards that check. The balance 30,000 for that 60,000 check will get debited from the FD and he will have an exit charge. So these are the pros and cons. One needs to understand a scheme thoroughly. ये होगा तो can always ask questions, guys, girls. Whenever you're doing any investment, it could be as simple as a bank deposit or a mutual fund. The more questions you ask, you will be safer. If you shy, नहीं ये मैं कैसे पूछूं, ये तो मुझे जानना चाहिए, वो मैं गूगल कर लूंगी. Don't do that. There is an officer in front of you. Talk to the officer and get your questions answered before you take the step and before you sign the investment.
Nice. That's great. That is great advice, because I think sometimes we don't ask questions enough. So Aryan, but not this bunch, of course. We have several questions coming up. Aryan Chauhan, he's asking, if we want our money to compound in the long run, shouldn't we invest in Nifty 50?
Yes, yes. So, thanks for that question, Aryan. So, like you said, there are a lot of students in this crowd who could be savvy. And yes, again, thanks to the pandemic. Why thanks? Because we became digital. There is Zerodha, there is Grow app, and there are so many other apps, even, blockchain. People are talking about many different things. Crypto. There was a time when crypto also became the fad. Okay, people lost a lot of money, but no, some people are there, they want to try new things. So there's no harm. You try, but you try it with a small amount. Coming back to the question Aryan asked, that yes, these are indices. Okay, in our country, we do less of index related investments. We do more of actively managed investments like funds. Because in the developed countries, especially US, the exchange traded funds, okay, they're called ETFs, are better managed because they don't have active management like us. In India, we have got very brainy and very experienced people in the field for the past 25, 40, 30 years. They are a brand in themselves. Okay. So when they actively manage a fund, they know when to buy, when to sell, when to, increase exposure, decrease exposure. But if somebody doesn't know to do that, then the plain simple thing is to buy the index, Nifty Bs, Nifty 50. Definitely you can do that.
The next question, and there are a couple of them. Adil Rizwan asks, what is the difference between investment and savings? There are some other related questions. I'm going to club them. There's also a question on some apps in which teenagers can invest. Well, I don't know if that's a question. But anyways, what is the difference between investment and savings?
See, very, very basic, but very important question because it applies to this particular audience that I have. Okay. And I also started there. Initially, we save, like I gave the example in the starting of the session, middle of the section, and right now also. Whenever you get funds from your family members, learn to save that initially, because when you go to the bank, they will say, okay, minimum account mein 1,000 rupees rakna hoga. So you need to gather 1,000 rupees, go to the bank and open an account. Okay. After that 1,000 rupees is kept in the bank, it will grow initially. See, anybody grows small first and then you get into the bigger numbers. Okay. You keep it in the bank, let it grow. You should experience that, okay, I started with 1,000 rupees, then I added another 100 rupees every month. And then that is how my money grew. Once your money grows, then you think, okay, abhi ye 1,000 rupees hai na, 10,000 ho gaya hai. Okay, that 10,000 rupees, then you can distribute it into two places. So first, stick to one place. Don't diversify in the beginning. Stick to one avenue, one journey. Then once that has grown, then you split and take the second journey. So be on train 1, then you add the train 2, and then you make your investment journey complex. Initially, keep it simple, stick to one product. If you like mutual fund, read about mutual fund. There are lovely articles, there are very simplistic videos on YouTube where how you should start. Okay, like you mentioned, somebody mentioned about the apps. Yes, there are a lot of apps which will teach you, but again, I'm saying read enough. You're smart, you're intelligent, you understand various terminologies, and you know want to grow your money. So first, you got to save. Okay, save your capital. After saving the capital, then you decide. मुझे ये 100 rupees से 4% return चाहिए. I want to keep my capital safe and grow it at 4%. Then stick to the bank. Once that 4 rupees has compounded on an annual basis, okay, 400 ka 450 hua, 550 hua, once it grows, then you say, okay, now my capital was how much? 1000 ka 2000 ban gaya hai. So keep your 1000 intact. That 1000 surplus you invest in mutual funds, invest in post office schemes, etc. You know, nowadays government is also promoting mutual funds because they have become very transparent, they are very effectively managed, the costs are low. Okay, so you should try that. And for those who are, you know, wanting to go the equity stock route, so you can invest in equity stocks, that is shares. Okay, shares mein jo compounding milta hai, that you cannot get it anywhere, because if India is going to grow, okay, at the rate at which we are growing, you can trust that your stock portfolio will also grow. So you buy one share, and for shares, I think what I can only tell everybody is choose your birth date, okay, or choose your mother's birthday or whatever date you want. On that date, make it a point to buy one share, okay, or buy one, you know, gold coin of whatever denomination you want. So if you're doing an SIP, a systematic investment, do it every month. Okay, on the 10th of every month, buy. That compounding will give you great returns. Or if you have an annual target, okay, I'll save 100, and on the 12th, you know, on the year my birthday comes, I will buy something in lump sum. That can be done. So that is difference between savings and investing.
So on the question of, while we're still on the topic of investments, Hardik is asking maximum how much money we should invest.
Maximum.
Very relative question. Yes.
Again, I'll give an example only. Like I said, suppose I have a client who is having a 5 crore portfolio, which has happened over the last 40, 50 years. It has not happened overnight. But for you, since you all are children, you have maximum. I'm not able to get his question as yet, because one is their children. Okay, so where's the question of maximum? Maybe Hardik can top up his question and ask me something more.
We'll wait. Hardik, if you want to please add to your question. Meanwhile, Skylar White has asked, what is a liquid asset?
Okay, liquids. So very good question for understanding purpose. The examples I gave of a fixed deposit, mutual fund, post office scheme, people invest in homes and offices, right? They buy a commercial property, put it on rent. They buy an extra flat, put it on rent, okay? Or they buy land, piece of agricultural land, and then they rent it out. Somebody makes a holiday home, somebody makes an agricultural farm on it. So there are different asset classes, right, from fixed deposit, NCDs, bonds, mutual funds, real estate, etc. All these assets come with different levels of liquidity. So a fixed deposit is absolutely liquid. You go to the bank tomorrow and say, वो मेरा 1000 rupees का fixed deposit था, उसको break कर दो. I want the money. They'll break it instantly and you'll get the money. You go to a real estate developer and say, I've got that shop, I want to sell it. Your father might say, I want to sell it because I need the money. He'll say, नहीं sir, वो customer ढूंढना पड़ेगा, customer पैसा देगा तो आपका liquid होगा. So different products, mutual funds are very liquid, 100% liquid. You invest today, after 4 days or 10 days, you feel, oh, you don't want to stay in it, you should come out. But there are pros and cons. There are charges. You could come, sometimes you could exit at a loss. Don't do that. Don't let your capital go down, you know. So yes, liquidity may, different asset classes have different set of liquidities.
A question that Mohana must have asked, I don't know how many times. Which bank is advisable for investment? I think you'd say in terms of investment, we're partnering with Tata Capital, and what could be a better area? But anyway.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah, that's what. So we are the advisors, and we can do fixed deposits and mutual fund and all of that. But since you are asking about a bank, I would say don't go to a new bank. You go to the same bank where your parents have an account. It could be SBI, it could be HDFC, it could be Kotak, Access, whoever, because there you will be a family relationship. Okay, so myself, my husband, my son, we all have an account in the same bank. ऐसा नहीं कि we have in 3 different places. That's not advisable.
This is an interesting question. What is a Skylar White asks, what is a good book to learn finances from other than Rich Dad, Poor Dad?
Yeah, no. I don't read too much of those kind of books because honestly, it's everybody's perspective is different. Chetan Bhagat could write something and somebody else could write something else. So you basically have to define your risk appetite. Okay. Just to give a simple example within the house, I am more of a risk taker. My husband is more of a conservative person. So a conservative person, investor, will invest in fixed deposits or real estate and so on, where his capital is safe, and over and above that, they get the returns. Okay, the returns is the performance. I am an aggressive to medium investor. I will invest in mutual funds and stocks because I like to see my money grow. Even if it goes little negative, if my 100 rupees becomes 98, I can take that risk. Okay, but I'm more anxious that my 100 should become 110. So I'm ready to give my money some time. So that is how I would answer that.
Agam Modi asks, in which field and share market we should invest our money?
Which field and share market? So see, I'm not able to pinpoint any stock, any industry or so. How I would answer this is, as you guys are very smart and young, and your exposure outside in your neighborhood, in your peer group is so robust, what you should see is what is working right now. Today in the pandemic, MS Teams became the daily affair. Today Nina and myself may be doing minimum 10 Teams meetings, okay, on a daily basis. So Microsoft Teams is doing well, IT is doing well, digital is doing well. I gave you the example of banks. Okay, banks are the backbone of this country. Okay, I don't know how many of you are aware of the world scenario right now. America is going through a tough phase. They're talking about recession, but yeah, they will come out from that also. Germany is in trouble, Europe, Britain is in trouble, etc. Many worldwide economies are going through a tough phase. Compared to that, India is in a sweet spot. Why India is in a sweet spot? Because from 2021, China has gone into everybody's bad books. Okay, so 21 say we took charge. We across the globe, many countries don't want that supply chain should be dependent on China. So many companies have shifted their focus to India. Okay, manufacturing is happening in India. Consumption is अपना जो demographics है, you will all agree that we are going to overtake China in terms of the number one populous country. So our demographics is going to go in favor of us. So when our markets meaning equity markets, and our banks and our manufacturing and our consumption, it will all benefit because of the factors I just mentioned. So I cannot pinpoint any sector or industry, but if we are vigilant in terms of looking around us, what is happening? If you see, a lot of infrastructure work is going on in the whole of India, not only Maharashtra, but everywhere. Okay, in your own cities, you can see smart cities are coming up, metros, bullet trains, coastal roads. We are talking about all this development. So think, what is it required? You need cement, you need steel, you need labor, you need material to go into. Real estate is booming today. You get flats which are self sufficient with electricity and modular kitchen and all that. So all that is picking up. So just to answer you, whatever around you you feel, अरे ये तो बहुत बढ़ गया अभी, पहले ऐसे नहीं था, cars, electric cars, Tata Motors and many other companies, they're doing extremely well. So the motor industry will do well, power, electricity will do well, IT will do well, banking will do well. So you got to just read the trends and then be able to relate कि हाँ ये अच्छा करेगा industry, ये sector अच्छा करेगा. Then you can then go deeper layer by layer into the schemes which are having those stocks. They will do well.
For the next question, I think that's a good one. Comedy Star, which is a YouTube name, is asking, what is a mutual fund?
No, I didn't get it. Comedy?
Sorry, that's the YouTube name, but the question is, what is mutual fund?
Okay, what is mutual fund? Good question, very basic as you said. So just like a mutual fund is a trust, okay? It is not, it is everybody's money. Nina's put 10 rupees, Jolly's put 10 rupees, I've put 10 rupees, and you all are going to put 10 rupees. So all this put together becomes 10,000 crores of corpus. There is a fund manager and his research team and that company who will manage that 10,000 crores. What they will do of that 10,000 crores in that mutual fund? They will invest into shares of banking, consumption, power, electricity, insurance companies, and so on. The underlying instruments of a mutual fund, which could be 50 to 60, that is managed by a fund manager. And that is why mutual funds are today become very popular. Mr. Amitabh Bachchan also talks about it in his KBC. Mr. Sachin and Dhoni are also promoting that as part of the mutual fund industry. They are the ambassadors. So yes, mutual fund, you can start your investment with as low as 500 rupees. You can do a micro SIP of 100 rupees also. So that is the place where you can grow your money. But you need to give it time. It will not grow overnight.
Another question is from Moksha Bansal. What are ULIPs?
Okay, good. So ULIPs are unit link insurance plan. So just like you have mutual fund, the underlying instruments are stocks of the country. ULIPs are unit link insurance plan. So it is an insurance plan coming from an insurance company, not a mutual fund company, coming from an insurance company, but unit link, meaning they also, the underlying instruments are shares of a particular company. So ULIPs are investing in shares, but they come from an insurance company. Mutual funds are investing into stocks, but they come from a mutual fund company.
Another question, how banks get profit?
Yes, that's one of the slides which I said. Banks, they have the model of savings account and current account. So suppose I have my corporate salary account, okay, into HDFC Bank. Then every month when my company pays money, my salary gets credited to the bank account. So that way HDFC Bank or SBI Bank has lakhs of customers whose salary comes there. Or suppose Nina is having a business, her business income goes into the bank account. So every time we deposit our money at the bank pays us certain interest, and from the bank, whatever money they have as per their balance sheets, they loan that money to a person who requires. Suppose ABC requires loan for buying a house or setting up a new business. They give loans to them and they charge interest on that loan that they have given. So they take interest from the people whom they've lent money, and for people like me who have kept their money with them, they've got to pay me interest. That's what banks business is. It's their business to take money, to lend money.
A little bit more complex question, I guess, from Aryan Chauhan. What will happen to banks if everything goes decentralized?
Things are already decentralized. Earlier, there was a lot of centralization. Okay. Now, a lot of things are decentralized. But yeah, there is RBI. RBI will always stay there. It is a very strong and sound institution of this country. Unlike other developed economies who are going through a lot of pain, Britain, people would have heard what they went through during the pandemic and post-pandemic, Ukraine crisis, etc. I'm saying our economy is very well supported by the RBI, and I don't think we have to worry about this.
Uttara, your question, I believe, has already been answered. Hari Keshavan, how do we start insurance? That was addressed yesterday. today's topic is on investments. The other question is, what happens when bank will not give interest?
So it's I don't really see a reason why bank will not give interest. Yes, we are moving there. Like in abroad, you would have heard in Singapore, Japan doesn't give interest. Okay, it will take us I don't know how many decades to reach that stage like Japan, where वहाँ पैसे रखने के लिए the bank will give you money. I don't think we are going to reach a stage where our banks will not give us interest. We are not in that model. RBI and the government of India will make sure, because of the kind of fixed deposit and savings current account base that we have, I don't see ourselves getting into that zone that you just asked, my friend.
Okay, I think we'll take one last question, which is from Palakshi. What is the lowest price that we can invest while starting? I'm not sure what.
Yeah, so you can start. I think you can do a recurring deposit as low as 100, 500 rupees, or you can go to the post office and start a post office saving scheme. But whenever or you can start mutual fund also at a micro SIP of 100 rupees. My only suggestion would be you choose these avenues, but again, don't forget the thumb rule. Don't keep your eggs in one basket. If you want to start with 500 rupees, try to start with 200 rupees first, so that you experience how is your first 100 rupee growing, how is your second 100 rupee growing. Don't go and expose the whole 500 rupees to any multiple investment schemes. Just go step by step so that your capital is safe. Don't forget that investing, it can be very attractive, and it could be pulling you into various directions. मैं ये करूँ, मैं वो करूँ, and thanks to the applications today, everything is there on our smartphone, and your bank account is linked to that. So be very careful whom you're giving your money. That person, that scheme, that institution should be able to give you your money back. Don't say अच्छा नहीं वो 500 का loss हो गया तो ठीक है, I learnt my mistake. No, don't say that. Whatever 500 rupees you're starting with, don't put all of it. Go step by step. Learn. We'll all make mistakes. Everybody has their lessons to learn. Do it step by step, and then you will have better things to share with your friends and family. मैंने ये किया, मैंने ये experience किया, now I know how this thing works. Don't say, okay, I did this, I lost my money, now I learned. मत करो ऐसे. You get your homework done properly, like in school and your exams and your semesters. You do your homework very well, right? You take rehearsals, you take practice. Do that kind of stuff. Read about it, read a lot, listen to YouTubes, Google up stuff. Ask me if you need to reach me, and get your answers in place. Then you take the steps.
Sheena, would you have 2 minutes for two more questions?
Yes, continue. I'm all yours.
So Skylar White asks, and he's asked this earlier as well, are there taxes on liquidation of assets?
Yes. I did not cover the tax aspect, okay, because I thought it is slightly the next level. Once you've done investments, and when you come out of these investments, tax comes into the picture, okay. And let me tell all of you, our country is the place where we are paying taxes, and these taxes are necessary for our growth. You have goods and services tax, right? GST, which Mr. Modi and his ministry started. Our GST collections are extremely good, and that is why various development programs in the country are going to be successful. Okay. There are various taxes. Yes, mutual fund may you put 100 rupees, you come out with 110. On the 10 rupees, whatever you've done gain, it's called long-term capital gains. In equity, it is 10%. In debt, it is 20%. Then fixed deposit. Fixed deposit, you put 100 rupees, you gain 110 rupees. On the 10 rupees also, there is a TDS, tax deducted at source. Okay, but yes, right now you all are children. Okay, your income slabs are not high. They're inside 1 lakh rupees, or they're absolutely zero, because you'll be right now investing in the name of your guardian. Guardian could be mother or father. So their tax liability comes into play. Once you have become a major after 18, you will have a PAN number, you will do investments in your name. That's when the tax angle will come more to play. Right now, as you all are minor, the tax liabilities will be of your parents, okay, of your guardians, and different asset classes, fixed deposit, mutual fund, AIF, insurance, Everybody, and real estate, everybody's taxes are different.
Uttara is asking, is investing in small caps more profitable than blue chip companies?
Okay, very nice question. It means he or she has done the reading and understands. So I will just take this question in a manner to say, yes, when you invest in equity markets, okay, equity markets, either by the way of shares or by the way of mutual fund, there are 3 to 4 categories. What are the main 4 categories? Large cap, mid cap, small cap, and micro cap. So according to the recent categorization that SEBI, okay, securities institution jo hai, they have said that all the stocks which are there in our country, 1 to 100, which includes Asian Paints, all the big guys, the mega guys, okay, Titan, TCS, HDFC, Kotak, all the big guys, okay, from stock number 1 to stock number 100, they're all the large cap, the blue chip. From 101 to 250 are mid cap. 251 all the way down to 5,000, they're all small cap and micro cap. Again, I would reiterate, all these come with risks. ऐसा नहीं है कि you put in a large cap fund and it will keep your money absolutely safe. If they have not done due diligence or if their accounting is not clear, their balance sheets are in trouble, their credits is risky, then you can lose your capital. Okay, so just don't go blindly. Do your research, try to read and understand balance sheets of company, read or listen to YouTube or read on Google, and many other articles are also published. There are many blogs where people talk about investing. Okay, so blue chip may invest karke, you will definitely be safe provided you're in the right place. In small cap also you could be safe provided you're in the right place. दोनों जगह पे power of compounding will come to you depending on the investment horizon. You can't say that large cap में हूं तो मेरा 100 रुपया 110 बन जाएगा और small cap में हूं तो 100 का 110 बनने में बहुत टाइम लगेगा. No, it could be anyways. In large cap also you could take time. In small cap also you could take time or make it quick. Anyways.
I think we'll take this one last question, Hina. It's from Raj
Sure.
Bihari Goyal.
Sure.
How much money we should take loan with any company?
Okay. So now loan may be loan hai, credit card hai. Okay. It's basically you are borrowing money. I would say don't try to minimize that. One other perspective I'll give you. Okay. Since I'm in this field for more than 25 years, my experience says that whenever a wealth client, okay, my wealth client could be Nina, it could be you, it could be your parents, whoever. If we are aspiring for higher studies, we save towards the studies. If I want to buy a new car which will cost 20 lakh rupees or even 5 lakh rupees, I can't say, bas main loan le leti hu, I'll pay interest on that and buy the car tomorrow morning. That is foolish. Okay, we should not do that. Okay, I want to buy a house. The house is costing 75 lakh rupees. I'll say, okay, abhi to sirf 10 lakh ka savings hai. 65 lakh rupees I will take on loan. So it's not a good practice. If you need to take a loan, at least plan that investment. Either it is a car, it is a higher studies. Okay, take an education loan. Okay, and do the higher studies. You want to buy a house, you want to buy a car, you want to buy anything, plan for it. That's why I discussed in the starting of the session why investment planning is necessary, because we have goals, short term, medium term, emergency funds, and long term goals. If you plan that, then you can. I think what you all can do is there is a newspaper by the name Economic Times ET Wealth. ET Wealth is published. You get a booklet at home on every Wednesday. I would urge each one of you, and it's a very interesting newspaper. It's a small booklet which has very diverse articles, examples, mutual fund related, stock related, and many other FDs, loans, everything real estate. So try to see if you can subscribe, speak to your parents,
subscribe to ET Wealth. Okay, it comes every Wednesday. I get it on WhatsApp thanks to the digital media. I get it on Monday morning. So please try to subscribe for that. It will give you very good insights, okay, into the investing domain.
That concludes the questions that we have had. Thank you for your patience and for answering questions. Some of these were not really related to investments, but this is a large world, the entire financial um, aspect and angle of it. So thank you for answering that. I cannot, I know that things are very busy, for all of us, in fact. But the fact that you took the time off, made the presentation, and then, explained it to the students in the way that they could best understand, we truly appreciate it, Hina. Thank you. Thank you so
Thank you
much.
so much for giving me this opportunity, Nina, you, Jolly, and your entire team. I'm thankful to DhanGyan and the IDOBRO team. I'm sure the questions were very interesting from the children. And even if there are any further, you can forward them to me. I will see that I can answer them so that their curiosity should not be killed. Any question
Indeed.
is welcome so that it helps them to take further better decisions.
Yeah, no, indeed.
Okay.
And on that note, of course, we will, in terms of next steps for all the students and the teachers who are online, our next webinar, which is the last webinar in this series, will be tomorrow, same time. We'll share the link in the morning, and the last webinar is on the subject of banking, which is the 5th module um, in the DhanGyan, on the DhanGyan portal. So with that, just want to thank you all once again for your time. I know a lot of students have extra classes, tuition classes, they have other homework, assignments, and all to finish. So all the best for that, and we'll see you all tomorrow. And for those of you who have not, the teachers who are online, we will share the link of the YouTube recording. Kindly share with your students so that they can view the video at their leisure. And for the students who are here, please do like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. All right, great. Hina, thank you once again. And it's lovely to see a woman coming in to have these talks. I must say that.
Yes.
Yeah,
No,
and
you're also doing a good work, and I want to wish you all the very best in this journey that you all have started. I think it is very good that we must, like the Tatas that we say, and I'm sure other institutions also, we must give back to the community in multi-folds that we
indeed.
have already taken. Yeah, so thank you
Yeah.
once again for giving me this wonderful opportunity. This will be really memorable for me.
Nice to know. Thanks so much, Hina. All the
Thank
best to
you.
you as well. And we'll see you
Thank you so
soon.
much.
All
Yes,
right.
bye-bye.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you.
Thank you,
Bye.
Jolly. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.